Hello friends and welcome. Okay, so at the end of part 3 of the brush hog series, what we did in that video was we put the mulcher kit on the brush hog here, and after I connected it to the tractor, I don't know if I had the PTO partially on. It's very possible, but when I went to start it, it was binding really bad. And the PTO seemed to be on, even though I thought I had it off. I tried to push it off, and we were really straining the tractor trying to get it started. And I just kept trying, but I should have stopped right there. But after I took the brush hog back off the tractor, and then I reconnected it, making sure that the PTO wasn't engaged at all. And then it was able to start up, and it was fine. But now we have this problem. I don't know if I cooked the centrifugal clutch here. See if I can show you here. Now it has to make a liar out of me. It was just freewheeling too. There it goes. See how it's freewheeling? Now, I don't know if I cooked the clutch. What it has in there, it has cams. Inside there's 21 of them. They look like roller bearings, but they're each cut a certain way, and you have to be put back in the right way. Being that there's 21 in there, I think the last time I checked, they were like $12 a piece for the cams. 21 times 10, let's say. Figure that out. What, $210 or whatever. And then you have 2 bearings in there. I don't know how much they cost, but there's springs in there that hold the cam. Yeah, it holds the cams out, I guess, against the outer part of the clutch here, in here. I think they're like $10 a piece or whatever. You're probably talking, if you want to do a complete rebuild with the cams, the bearings, and those 2 springs, they're like round springs. And like I said, they hold the cams out. You're probably talking about $300 just to rebuild it yourself. And let me tell you what, those cams to put in, you have to get every single one in there right. They're a little bit of a pain to do. What I plan on doing here, I'm sure we probably cooked the clutch, the centrifugal clutch. I do have a couple of extra ones, but I want to try to fix this one. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the whole assembly off this. What I have to do is loosen the starter chain, pull the chain off, and we're going to have to lock the crankshaft from turning so we can get this thing loose and off. And there's 2 methods of how you could do this. You can either pull the head off and put a block of wood in there. You bring the piston all the way down, right? And you put a block of wood in there. Then you put the head back on it, and then that'll lock the piston down from coming all the way up, and then you can loosen it that way. That would probably mean you gotta change the head gasket. Maybe not, who knows. But that would also mean that you have to get the bolts out of the head without a problem. We had the 2 on the ends off once. I don't know why we had to take that apart, but we did. Oh, I know why. Because I had to get the regulator or whatever that thing is for the generator off. This is the one with the generator on it. This is the one that I want to restore. It appears to have an oil leak coming from the back somewhere here. I don't know, maybe you can see the stain in here. I forgot to bring my flashlight out today. I park it in the same spot all the time here. So, you can see oil here. I don't know what's leaking or what. It's kind of not the same exact spot where I park it, but it seems to be leaking towards the back of the tractor, from what I could tell. Okay, so the other method of locking the crankshaft is to pull the spark plug out and throw about 30 or 40 feet of rope in there, and you could do it that way. So I'm choosing to take the spark plug out. I'll get the piston all the way down. We'll feed all the rope in there we have to feed, and I'll get the clutch off. You guys probably see me partially do it. I'll be back to you as soon as I get the whole clutch assembly off. Okay. What I have to do is there's 2 bolts that hold the starter on, so I'm just gonna have to loosen the 2 bolts that tension the chain here. Chain's pretty loose too, and we'll be able to get it apart then. And all right, so I'll be back to you shortly, quickly. Okay, so after about 20 minutes of feeding the rope in here, I was able to get the clutch off. Okay, so this head here has the bigger spark plug in, and it goes in on an angle. I think it's a lower compression head, so it was easier to get the rope in there. Every once in a while I had to push it down with the screwdriver. The higher compression head with the plug that comes straight up with the small plug in it, I was using needle nose to feed it down. So instead of taking a half hour to get the rope in there, it took about 20 minutes. And there was a lot of rope in there. Some of you may have seen me pull one of those clutches off and doing a rope trick here. And let me show you what I found so far. Just a whole bunch of grease around here, but the fan pulley sits like here, and I don't see all that buildup there. So I don't know if somebody greased this, or it could have been oil. I don't know. It really feels like grease to me. Okay, so another thing I want to show you here is this. You see this tip here? It's for the starter straps, like for the pull start Graveleys. And what you do is, you know, the eye fits over this, and then you wrap your strap around it to start it up. That's if the starter's no good or the battery's dead or something like that. You can start it that way. You would have to disconnect the chain, and you can start it that way. If the clutch is slipping like this one is, the strap is useless to try to start it. Now, I had a Gravely once that I got, and this tip over here, somebody took the tip out, put a grease fitting in there, and greased the crap out of it. I don't know if I made a video on that. I might have made a video on that one. What I did was I just took my I don't think there's any grease seals or bearing seals or anything like that in these. I don't remember if there was, but I just took my propane torch and just heated it up just enough to liquefy the grease in there. And I didn't take it apart, but I just took this nipple out, and the grease liquefied and came out, and then I shot some brake clean in there, and I was able to clean it up. Now with these, you're only supposed to use graphite for when you're putting those cams in there. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up real good. There's a C-clip here. You really don't have to take it out, but I'm going to take it out because I want to clean everything out real good. And then, no, this is the C-clip under here that you really don't have to take out, but I'm going to take it out anyway. I'm not going to push this thing out all the way. When the bearing starts coming out here, let me see if I can explain. I don't have a press. Best way to do it is with a press. I'm just going to have to do it with a hammer and a socket. And I'm just going to start here. And when the bearing starts coming out over here, this way, I'm going to support the bottom and just get it to where that bearing just comes out. And I don't want those cams to come out, those roll pin cams. I don't want them coming out. I watched a couple of videos. I was going to use a tie strap to hold them together because, as I pointed out before, those springs spread those cams. I was going to use a tie, and then I figured I watched some videos. It just so happened RW3 Dog made a video on that. What he used was a rubber band. He had the whole thing apart, but I guess putting it together it was easier. He used a rubber band to hold them in. So, because we don't want them falling out, especially with the way my eyes are. I don't know how many years it'll take me to get it back together again. So, I'm going to clean this up really good, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll pull the seat clips out, and I'll try to press the thing out, the bearing out of this side here. And we'll work on it. We'll clean it up real good. And I'll use some brake clean and so forth. And we'll clean everything up the best we can. I don't know if it's a good idea. Like I said before, you're not supposed to grease them. But I do have some 3-in-1 oil. I was wondering if it'd be alright to put some 3-in-1 oil there. I just looked. I have two extra ones of these. How good they are, I don't know. But I would rather just try to fix this one because it's very costly to fix these things. So I'll be back to you as soon as I get done cleaning it, and we'll pull the seat clips out. Okay, so it's this is the bearing on the outside here, and then there's the inner part here, shaft. So I've been just hitting the inner part shaft here, and the bearing is just staying here. But I wish I knew how far. It's going pretty easy, but I don't want to knock the bearing out this way, all the way. So I'm just going to tap it some more, and then I'm going to flip it upside down, and then I'll just take this socket here. I'll flip it back over. And I'll go somewhere where it's solid and just, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And just start, in other words, I'll turn this over onto the socket here and just keep tapping it until that bearing just starts coming out more. So, I don't know. It goes pretty easy though, even though we don't have a press. But like I said, I don't want to go too far. I don't know. I don't know how thick this bearing is. Trying to judge. I don't know if the two bearings are the same. So I'm just trying to judge it this way. If I had another pair of hands, somebody could hold the bottom here and not get in trouble. But I'm by myself, so you just got to suffer, I guess. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little nervous with this already. Alright, we're going to stop there. Yeah, definitely. Going to stop there. Let me just show you. We got it, the bearings about this far out here. So I have to try to figure out. Oh yeah, I have a socket. Maybe I could tap it. Let me see here. I do have a big socket that we use to take the blades off. See if that fits over this. But I'm going to have to move to another position here to do it. Because this table's pretty flimsy here. Let's see. Okay, I just want to use the socket. I don't know if I want to try to bang down on this on the table or what. Gotta make sure. I don't know if you can see. Try to get you so you can see what's going on a little bit there. I know I'm a little far away, but I just want to make sure the socket is under that inner piece, the inner shaft there. This table is pretty flimsy, so I don't know if this will do the trick. It's got to fit up. Nope, that's no good. I need something to fit over here. I don't know what to do here now. Ah, it's coming out. Easy. Am I in trouble yet? Probably. Let me get back to you and let's see what's going on here. I don't think the roller bearings fell out yet, but they will though. Give it time. Okay, so like I was saying before, there's a spring on the top and a spring on the bottom, and it's supposed to spread these cams here. Okay, so ironically, this all stayed in together here, maybe because I turned it upside down, I don't know, to get it the rest of the way out. So that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brake clean. I'm going to clean everything up really good in here the best I could. Of course, you know, I took the C-clips out off camera, and I also took that nipple out that I showed you to use the starter strap to start the machine. So everything stayed in there pretty good. So I'm going to give it a good cleaning. With my eyes, I can't tell if anything's worn out in there or what. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So I was thinking of just cleaning it out with brake clean and just spraying some WD-40 or PB Blaster in there and not use the 3-in-1 oil. And as soon as I start getting this back together, I want to, let's say, even the bearing here, I'm going to spray WD-40 on the bearing and everything and work that really good. I seen Ralph do it, RW3 Dog, and he was successful with that because he had a bearing that was really binding up really bad. Okay, so let me see what I could do. Now, when I took this starter clutch off and I was turning it, it locks in one position and then you could freewheel turning it. It was kind of like hard to turn, kind of like binding. So I don't know if that has something to do with the bearing or what. So let me get this all cleaned up here with some brake clean, and I'll start putting it back together. I'll service the this bearing here with some blaster. I'll clean this too really good with the brake clean first, and then I'll lube it up, and then hopefully we have a good working starter clutch again. Okay, so I cleaned everything up. I cleaned the bearing out that's on the inside with brake clean. Then I sprayed it down with some PB Blaster. I'm not going to use 3-in-1 oil or anything like that. So now on this side here, very important, this has two shims. They're either two shims or two washers to keep any dirt from getting in there. Since it's got two, I'm thinking that they're shims. But I knocked this back down all the way, and it's freewheeling that way and locking this way. And it feels much better than it did before, but there's still a little bindage, but not too bad like before. So I'm going to screw that nipple back in. I'm going to put these spacers on here, put the C-clip on here, and then it's done. So it's important that you put the C-clips on when this clutch is facing out on the tractor, that you put the shims here. And then I'll put the C-clip back in. I'll put it back on the tractor, put the chain back on, tighten the chain, tighten the starter, connect the battery. Always disconnect the battery when you're doing this or anything on the machine. It really wasn't necessary, but I did anyway. And then I got to pull a rope out of the cylinder and put the plug back in, and we'll see. We'll see how it works. This might all have to come apart again because I didn't really diagnose the oil leak that it has, and I want to do that soon too. So see you right back. Okay, let's see what happens now. I got the ignition off and the fuel shut off, so we're just gonna try it. Oh, that's pretty good so far. Then you turn the fuel on. Or we'll turn the kill switch on. Might have to choke it too. I say it's successful. Now I'll leave the ignition off and I'll try it again. Well, that buys it some time, so that's cool. That worked. Okay, so upcoming. We might as well take the plow off this. So what I'll do is I'll take the plow off this. I'll take the dual wheels off. And we'll put the brush hog mulcher on here. And I think by then, we'll take a walk in the yard real quick. I think by then, we'll be able to cut here. I did the whole spring cleanup of the whole yard, the whole entire property. So that's all done. Well, sorry about that. This is starting to grow back here some. So we should be able to, in about a couple of weeks probably we'll see how that works. The mulcher. I don't know if that brush hog mulcher is just meant for leaves or we'll see how it does with the grass. I tried to find one. I found one, and I think a guy in Poland or somewhere, he was talking another language, and he had one, and I think he was cutting some grass with it. So I think if it's not good enough to cut the grass with, we'll just take that one of the blades off and put it on the orange brush hog that we usually use here to test machines. I haven't gotten any tractors in. I guess we could go back out here. I haven't gotten any tractors in. It's going to be a little tough for me because I'm going to have somebody help me out as far as going to pick a tractor or two up. Or I don't even have a lawnmower here to fix. That's the first time in about 12 years. Not one mower here to fix this year. Because I usually go out to the flea market or yard sales and buy them and stuff. Or find them in the garbage. But I don't drive anymore, so that's a little tough. I have a couple of people on the lookout for mowers at the curb or whatever. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad those cams didn't fall out on us where I knocked them out, because I usually see those cams, unless you press the inner bearing out and it probably takes the whole thing out, bearings and all. But we only tapped on the inner part, so the bearings stayed in. In other words, the inner part of the shaft, the bearing, that shaft just slid right across the bearings and didn't knock the bearings out. So that was pretty cool. So I think just by cleaning that all up and lubricating it with PB Blaster, I think we're good with that. Another thing I did is I put it in the vise before I put that nipple back in, because you could see the bearings through the hole in the nipple there. So what I did was I stuck it in the vise, and then I had the hole facing straight up to where that nipple is supposed to go. And I kept spraying blaster in there, and I just kept on turning the inner part there so it would float around. So some more got on the inside too of the PB Blaster. So I think that helped it out too. As I said before, I got that one Gravely and somebody put a grease fitting in there and greased it. That never worked right. But I'm pretty sure I used that one here, and I was telling you how I just heated it up and I just melted the grease in there and got all the grease out and flushed it out with brake cleaner. I never took it apart. I only did it through that hole where that nipple goes in, and that worked out. I think it's on the 67. Yeah, 67. It's probably on the 67 Gravely. The L8. I think I did it to that one. What else has an electric starter? This one does. The one on the trailer that we're selling, which it's ready to go, but I haven't put it out for sale. It's been raining, windy. The weather has been horrible here. Horrible. So, I guess that's about it. See, I'll just keep rambling on. I'm trying to think about any other Gravely's I have with electric start. So I'm pretty sure it was a 67 Gravely that I serviced that one, and it worked out. So there's nothing wrong with saving $300 just for parts to fix these things, you know. I got the inner bearing to work really good too with the PB Blaster. If you watch this, Ralph RW3 Dog, thanks for the tip on the rubber band, but we never really had to use that, so we're good as far as that goes. And he did the PB Blaster to he had bearings that were really incredibly stuck. I was able to free them up with PB Blaster. To free anything up, I always like to use PB Blaster instead of WD-40. PB Blaster really gets into everything and lubes it up and gets stuff working good. Alright, that's enough rambling. I hope this video helps somebody out. Either that, or I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one. And take care.